your hands in the air, it's
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
mixing sodas with the beer, it's
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
so why don't everybody cheer it?
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
This is the one right here.
Throw your hands in the air, it's
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
mixing sodas with the beer, it's
Dr. Do, Dr.
so
Do.
why don't everybody cheer it?
Dr. Do, Dr. Do.
This is the one right here.
You got
What is y'all, your social media platform artist and the host of the great YouTube channel? I'm your host, your one and the only Dr. Do here, y'all. How are we on this wonderful Sunday evening right here? Tuesday evening right here, y'all. Sorry about that. Today's video, I'm going to give you guys another video right here. It's about another history, so another military history right here, y'all. We need to talk about the old Civil War. We're going to talk about a Civil War story right here, y'all. In this video, I want to talk about the Confederate State of America. You know, the South, you could say that. Or should I say the Rebel State, or the Confederate State, or the Southern State right here. We're going to have to, I want to talk about that, alright? Because in this video, I want to talk about why the Confederate State of America had lost the war. Alright? Why did the Confederate Army didn't win against the Union back in 1861 till 1865, with cost over the lives of hundreds to thousands, and now closer to 1 million men and women in America dead. You also consider the highest death toll in American history right here, y'all. I'm going to give you guys these categories, and I want to explain to each of them of why the Confederacy never going to win the war in the first place. And not with generals, because they had generals in the Confederate Army, which most of them are well known genius. All right, y'all. You know, but besides generals and stuff, I don't think generals are the reason for this, nor the other thing that happened over there. All right. So before we get started, if you guys new to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to the channel, hit notification down below, comment down below, and see what you guys think about my opinion about why the Confederate State of America lost the war. And also, you guys want Dr. Do merch, go to Cotton Beer to give you guys Dr. Do drinkware, shirtwear, hatwares, like this beauty right here. And also, you guys, I'm still doing the contact for those who want to take part of making your own image. You know, like remember I say in a couple videos ago, me and Cotton Beer is doing the contact where one of y'all submit a image of Dr. Do image and see whoever wins. All right, whoever wins will get not only get the free shirt, and also the shirt that they made with on the Cotton Beer right here, y'all. So that way y'all would show who won. All right. And also you got one Dr. Do powder. You want somebody to give you enough hydration, focus, protein, and energy. Go to Beat Chart to give you guys Dr. Do powders right here, y'all. We got hydration, focus, energy, and protein, alright, in different flavors. Strawberry, fruit punch, alright, gummy worms, for those who like gummies right here, y'all. That would be a good one for every single one of y'all, alright? So without further ado, let's get this party started. First up, about why the Confederates lost in the war against the Union, we have to look at this category right here. The first category is the Army, alright? Even though the Confederate Army were, even though there were 11 states that seceded from the Union Army, but however, they thought of themselves as the army that would take on the Union. And the Confederate government thought they had the confidence of winning against them, but with generals. But however, one thing they have problem with is the number of Confederate soldiers. All right, y'all. You see, in the beginning of the Civil War, the Union and the Confederate had different numbers. All right, the Union Army had over 1.2 million soldiers serving in the whole entire U.S. Army in the Civil War, while the Confederate Army, however, had little than over 700 or 800 men in the battle against the Union. Their size difference is play a crucial role, you know, all right? Because when you think about the Union, all right, the North had more people and okay, sorry about that. You gotta know this: the Union had more people in the South because there's still not that much people in the South. All right, you got them mostly in Virginia, South Carolina, or near ones that are closer to the seaport. All right, but however, still Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas still have still had lesser people, which is why you see most of the fighting up in the eastern front, all right? Because there's more population in the South than population in the western of the Confederate state, all right? Including the fact that the Union Army showed how strong they are, and also when it comes to training, the Union Army have been trained more as well. Unlike the Confederate Army, most of them had problem getting outfit too, because you see most of the Confederate Army don't have that much uniform to wear. They had to take the uniform from either from dead Union soldier or Confederate soldier, and also taking anything that would make them show they are part of the army. Right here, y'all. Eventually, they also have a tough time of taking on the Union, so they also had guerrilla warfare against the Union. All right, and also eventually that their numbers are starting to get dwindling as the war progressed. And also the fact that many of the African American slaves that were in the South went to the North and joined the North to take on the Confederate Army, which they play a big role in the battle in the Civil War, all right, including the 54th Massachusetts Regiment, who showed that they are not an army to be reckoned with, all right, and they wanted to offend the men and women who were slaves in the war as well, right? What led to the Battle of Fort Ragged in 1863, which showed the bravery of the men who fought and served in the conflict, all right? And eventually, this led to many concerns that the Confederate Army were basically not going to win the whole war. Even Robert E. Lee knows that this war is going to be a loss to the South itself, which led to him losing and surrendering to General Grant, all right? This is a big deal, right? Numbers is one of the big priority right here. You also training as well. You also big, get what I mean, all right? So the next category we gotta look at is resources. You see, the only big reliable thing that the South always has is cotton, all right? That's their biggest product. They've been always sells in the South. Is their biggest resource they ever used in the war, in the whole entire South, in the whole entire region, all right? And eventually, when the Civil War happened, all right, the whole entire South was blockaded by the Union. So without trading or making profit, their resources became plummeting worse, all right? You started to see some Confederate forces having problem of having ammunition or problem of producing weapons as well, all right? With also producing uniforms for the Confederacy. So without any trades right here, they had to rely on runaway blockades to get them some resources, all right? Which Galveston was the only port that would open in the Confederate Army until the war ended, all right? So another problem is without African Americans doing the cotton, it became more difficult for them to produce resources for the whole entire Confederate Army. Food was becoming more hardened to make as well for the Confederacy. They need like good food to fight, right? And what's happening? Without anyone to make food, the Confederate Army started to have been starving or also having diseases as well from not eating, all right? And although they eventually had to lead to them to hunt some animals for food as well, all right? And when you think of that, not only that they have difficulty of trying to produce a lot of resources because they don't have that much to go with, all right? And eventually that most of the resources they get from cotton, which also led to Union burning the cotton fields all over the South, all right? Without cotton, no money, no profit, right here, y'all. And became worse for the currency for the CSA because the CSA money was getting worse too. It also became harder to use the currency of the CSA, all right? This is a lesson learned, all right? Without ports or without trading for the CSA, they cannot fight no longer, all right? And also another thing about it is industry. Like I said, industry play a major crucial role right here, y'all. Because the North is more advanced, alright, when it comes to industry right here, y'all. They got big, huge technology they have, okay? Like, for example, like clothing machines, you got newspaper machines, you got every machine they have in the North, all there, alright? But the Confederacy doesn't have that big advancement like the Union does, because they are still behind industry, alright? With the result of them having problem of manufacturing other resources, alright? I mean, industry is still part of the resources right here, alright? And also then we got to another category, Navy, because Navy play another crucial role in the American Civil War, because when you think about it, Navy is the reason why the Confederate Army loses, because they managed to blockade the whole South, making sure that they would make sure that the Confederate States of America would not use those ports, alright? And also, the Union Army Navy also managed to take ports as well, alright? But except for Galveston, because under Confederate rule till this war ends. And also, even though that the Confederate Army tried to build advanced Navy ships, like the CSS Alabama, which was considered the first ironclad ship in history to take on the Union Army, and then you had the USS Monitor, who took on the Alabama and showed how this Navy ship can change the course of history right here. Remember that story? If it weren't for those ships at all, then we wouldn't be having battleships to this day, alright? Because those Navy ships are the reason why our military and other people's military are all got stronger right here, y'all. And those Navy ships had inspired Europeans to try to develop their own ironclad ships, to try to surpass the American military Navy, alright? Remember, Britain and France never thought that us Americans create a machine weapons that could be the change. Sorry, I got a lot of words to say right here. So without the ironclad ships, we would be riding and fighting on wooden plank board ships, alright? But thanks to the American Civil War, the Navy had forever changed the outcome of modern day history right here, y'all. And thanks to them, we managed to become the most powerful nation in the world because of that. But since also the CSA didn't have that many Navy ships as they thought they would, alright? And also, most of them are not even combatant ships at all. And also, some of them are obsolete at that time, alright? And we think about that because the CSA tried to make some ironclads and more, but they only managed to make like 5 or 6 ironclad ships, but some of them got sunk or even got dismantled after the war right here, y'all. And finally, another thing about it is the morale right here. You see, at first the Confederate Army had a big morale that they thought they were going to win the war in the beginning. And so when their morale took on the Union morale, they were trying to be as best as they can, but eventually their morale started to plummet it down. Alright? Leadership was plummeting, the people itself are getting fed up for the fact that they are not going to get a fit war, you're not going to win this war at all. And also, thanks to the Battle of Gettysburg back from July 1st to July 3rd, 1863, and also thanks to the Gettysburg Address, the morale of the Confederacy plummeting, making it worse for them to win the war right here, y'all. And then you see Union forces managed to surpass the Confederate Army in every battle, and also managed to put down each rebellion that took on the Union right here, y'all. And then you got the General Sherman march. Remember that? The march on Georgia? And he managed to break the morale of the Confederate Army when he raided and burned Georgia right here, y'all. Remember that story right here, y'all? The General Sherman march? That one of the reasons why. And also, and then you see Confederate generals starting to realize that their forces are starting to get worse and worse, and most of the men are starting to have losing their interest or continue fighting. Even Robert E. Lee felt that this war would never go to be on his side. He knows that he is running out of options, and he knows he's running out of battles to take on the Union forces. And remember the Battle of Courthouse in 1865? Yeah, he realized that this war needed to come to an end. His leaders were failures, alright? Even President Jefferson failed to get the morale back up for the whole entire Confederate government. But however, thanks to the siege of Richmond, Virginia, President Jefferson was a fool to realize that he is not in a good position to win at all. That's why he ran away like a coward, dressed as a woman, and got himself captured right here. You wanna know who? I felt like Robert E. Lee is more brave than the Confederate general, the CSA, Jefferson. All right, this proves to show that how morale and ignorance would happen to the Confederate State of America. This is one of the reasons why I don't support the Confederate State of America at all. I don't know why would they want supporting a slavery right here. It's kind of a foolish thing to do right here, y'all. I'm always supporting the government, U.S. government and everything for it. If it weren't for Abraham Lincoln, then we would have won the war at all. But the South, to me, the South never going to win at all, because arrogance, foolishness, planning out things, they're not great at that. Even including you got smart general on your side, but however, you have to know for the fact that they know that they cannot fight any much longer. They couldn't be able to make the war last like more than a decade or so. And although eventually in 1865 the war come to an end right here, y'all. Lesson learned. All right, what happened when you try to take on a side that have more technology, more men, and more morale and their prideness? Yeah, you could be able to take on the side of the Union anytime soon right here. Which is to me that the CSA, I never supported the Confederates' belief right here. Even including the fact that why you support a Southern pride, why you support a pride of the South when you know for the fact that you guys, that supporting a pride that lost the war. Why do you think Texas pride is very different than the Southern pride? Because Texas pride, we won our war against Santa Anna. All right, remember the Texas Revolution? That's the reason why we proud to be a Texan, because we Texans fought and won our war against Mexico 1-on-1. But the South, even though 1-on-1, lost the conflict and no longer be able to go against the Union Army to this day right here, y'all. And there you have it. This is my video about why the Confederate State of America lost the war in the Civil War right here, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope y'all have a great day. Please subscribe to the channel, hit notifications down below, comment down below, see what you guys thought about my opinion about the American Civil War and why the Confederate State of America lost. I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time right here, y'all. Peace out, y'all.